The morning sun rose over Earth like it had done for billions of years. People went to work. Children went to school. Farmers looked at their fields. Nobody knew that everything was about to change forever. Admiral Taiho stood on the bridge of his command ship near Jupiter. He was a tall man with gray hair and tired eyes. He had served in the United Earth Fleet for 30 years. He had seen many things, but he had never seen anything like what appeared on his screens that morning.
"Hey, sir,
"We have contacts," said Lieutenant Hannah. She was young, only 28, but she was the best tactical officer in the fleet. Her fingers moved fast over her console. Multiple contacts? Hundreds? No, thousands. Taiho walked closer to the main screen. His heart began to beat faster. "How many exactly?" Hannah looked at him. Her face was pale. 12,000, sir. 12,000 ships just appeared from nowhere. They are forming a sphere around Earth. Taiho felt his legs go weak. Earth's entire fleet had only 847 ships, and these new ships were huge. Each one was 10 times bigger than his largest battleship. He had spent his whole life preparing to defend Earth. Now he understood that all his preparations meant nothing. "Get me a connection to President Doyan," he said quietly. "Now." But before the connection could be made, every screen on every ship, every television on Earth, every phone, every computer, all showed the same image. A face appeared. It was not human. The skin was gray and smooth. The eyes were large and black. When it spoke in every language at the same time. Species 7841, designated humanity. "I am High Commander Vorin of the Galactic Armada. You have violated 17 statutes of the Galactic Accord. You have 72 hours to surrender unconditionally. If you do not surrender, your planet will be sterilized. All human life will end. This is not a negotiation. This is your only warning," as the message ended. Silence fell across the world. In Seoul, a young engineer named Jiho dropped his coffee cup. It shattered on the floor, but he did not notice. He stared at his phone screen where the alien face had been. In New York, Sergeant Yoonji was training her Special Forces team. They all stopped and looked at each other. None of them spoke. There were no words for what they had just seen. In Geneva, President Doyen sat in his office. His hands were shaking. He was 70 years old. He had led Earth through economic crises, natural disasters, and political conflicts. But this was different. This was extinction. His phone rang. It was Admiral Taiho. "Mr. President," Taiho said. "What are your orders?" Doyan closed his eyes. "Call an emergency meeting of the United Earth Council. Every leader, every general, every scientist. We have 72 hours to decide the fate of our species." The next 12 hours were chaos. People ran through the streets. Some prayed. Some cried. Some fought. Governments tried to keep order, but fear spread faster than any virus ever had. Dr. Yuna worked in a secret underground facility. Beneath the mountains of Korea, she was the chief scientist of the Global Defense Initiative. While the world panicked, she studied. Her team captured and analyzed every piece of the alien transmission. "There is more data hidden in the signal," she told her team. "The aliens sent more than just a message. They sent information. Maybe by accident, maybe on purpose. We need to decode it." Director Sun Woo was the head of Earth's intelligence division. He was a quiet man who rarely smiled. His job was to know secrets. Now he was looking for the biggest secret of all. Why were the aliens here? His team worked through the night. They intercepted alien communications between the ships. The aliens were not careful. They did not think humans were smart enough to listen. That was their first mistake. "Sir," one of his agents said, "we have something. The aliens have been watching us for 200 years. Since we first made radio signals." Sun Woo leaned forward. "Why did they wait so long to attack?" The agent swallowed hard. "They were voting, sir. Every intelligent species in the galaxy voted on what to do with us. The vote took 200 years. The result was unanimous. Every species voted to destroy humanity before we could become a threat." Sun Woo felt cold. A threat? We did not even know they existed. That is what scared them, sir. We grew too fast. We learned too quickly. They called us an invasive species, like a disease that must be stopped before it spreads. The emergency meeting of the United Earth Council lasted for 6 hours. Leaders argued. Generals shouted. Scientists presented data. Some said humanity should surrender. Maybe the aliens would show mercy. Maybe humans could survive as slaves. Others said humanity should fight. Yes, they would lose. Yes, they would die. But they would die standing up, not on their knees. Admiral Taiho listened to all of them. Then he stood up. I have served in the military for 30 years, he said. I have always believed that a good leader knows when to fight and when to retreat. I have always believed that survival is the most important thing. He paused, but I was wrong. The room went quiet. If we surrender, we will survive for a while. But we will not be human anymore. We will be cattle. We will be pets. Everything that makes us who we are will be taken away. Our children will grow up in chains. Their children will not even remember what freedom was. He looked at President Do-Yan. Mr. President, I say we fight. Not because we can win, but because losing as humans is better than surviving as slaves. President Do-Yan nodded slowly. He stood up and looked at the men and women who led humanity. Then it is decided. We will not surrender. Far away, on the bridge of the ESS Defiance, Captain Minho received the news. He was a young captain, only his ship was the most advanced in Earth's fleet, but it was still nothing compared to the alien vessels. Lieutenant Hannah stood beside him. Captain, did you hear? We are going to fight. Minho looked out the window at the wall of alien ships surrounding Earth. Each one could destroy a continent. Each one was full of soldiers who had conquered 100 worlds. He smiled. It was a strange smile, full of something that might have been hope or might have been madness. They want us to surrender, he said quietly. They do not know us very well, do they? Hannah looked at him. Sir, they have been watching us for 200 years. They have seen our wars. They have seen our cruelty. They have seen our failures. He turned to face her. But they have not understood anything. They do not know that the thing humans do best is survive. They do not know that we fight hardest when we have nothing left to lose. He pressed a button on his console. His voice went out to every ship in Earth's fleet. This is Captain Minho of the ESS Defiance. In 72 hours, we go to war against an enemy that outnumbers us 15-1. We will probably die, but we will not die quietly. We will not die begging. We will make them remember us for 1,000 years. Because that is what humans do. We endure. We adapt. We fight. And sometimes, against all odds, we win. He closed the channel and looked at the stars. 72 hours, he whispered. Let us see what humanity can do. President Do-Yan stood before the cameras. Behind him was the flag of the United Earth. His hands were steady now. His voice was calm. 5 billion people watched him across the world. My fellow humans, he began. Yesterday, an alien armada appeared in our skies. They demanded our surrender. They told us that the entire galaxy voted to destroy us. They called us a disease. An invasive species? They said we must be eliminated before we become a threat. He paused and looked directly into the camera. I have a message for the galaxy. We will not surrender. We will not beg. We will not go quietly into the darkness. You want to destroy us? Come and try. You will find that humans are not easy to kill. The speech was broadcast to the alien fleet as well. High Commander Vorin watched it from his flagship. His second-in-command, Admiral Kress, stood beside him. They are insane, Kress said. They have no chance. Why do they choose death? Vorin did not answer immediately. He had conquered 47 worlds. He had destroyed 12 species. None of them had refused to surrender. Not one. This was new. This was strange. And somewhere deep in his ancient heart, Vorin felt something he had not felt in 300 years. He felt afraid. On Earth, the preparations began immediately. Admiral Taiho implemented Protocol Omega. Every factory on Earth changed its production. Cars became missiles. Phones became communication devices for soldiers. Mining ships were filled with explosives. Cargo vessels were fitted with weapons. Engineer Jiho worked without sleep for 40 hours. He had studied the alien transmissions that Dr. Yuna's team had captured. The alien ships had powerful shields. Nothing in humanity's arsenal could break through them. But Jiho noticed something strange in the data. Shields have a frequency, he told Dr. Yuna. They vibrate at a specific rate. If we can match that frequency with our weapons, we can disrupt them. We can break through. Yuna looked at his calculations. Her eyes widened. Can you build it? I can try. Across the world, other scientists made other discoveries. The aliens had been careless. Their transmissions contained vast amounts of information. Maps of the galaxy. History files. Technical documents. Dr. Yuna's team worked to decode all of it. What they found changed everything. The aliens did not evolve on their worlds, Yuna explained to the United Earth Council. They were created. All of them. By an ancient race called the Architects. The Architects seeded the galaxy with life billions of years ago. Then they disappeared. President Doyan frowned. What does this have to do with us? Yuna took a deep breath. We were also created by the Architects, but we are different. The other species were designed to be stable, predictable, easy to control. Humans were designed to evolve, to adapt, to grow without limit. She pulled up more data on the screen. The Galactic Accord discovered this 50,000 years ago. They found old architect records that warned about Earth. The records said that one day humans would awaken. We would become something more than any other species, something that could not be controlled. The room was silent. That is why they want to destroy us, Yuna continued. Not because of what we have done, because of what we might become. Admiral Taiho stood up. Then we give them something to really fear. Captain Minho and Sergeant Yunji were chosen to meet with the aliens. Emissary Talok, the diplomatic representative of the Galactic Accord, agreed to speak with them on a neutral ship. The meeting room was cold and white. Talok looked almost human, but his skin was blue and he had no hair. His eyes showed no emotion. I do not understand, Talok said. No species has ever refused surrender. You cannot win. Your fleet is small. Your weapons are primitive. Why do you choose to die? Minho leaned forward. Let me ask you something. In all your history, in all your wars, have you ever fought someone who had nothing to lose? Talok was quiet. We know what you will do if we surrender, Minho continued. We will be slaves. Our children will be slaves. Our culture, our history, our dreams, everything will be erased. So what exactly are we losing by fighting? Talok shook his head slowly. You do not understand. The destruction of humanity is not cruelty. It is mercy. You do not know what you will become if you are allowed to grow. The architects made a mistake when they created you. We are correcting that mistake. Yunji spoke for the first time. Her voice was hard as steel. You are afraid of us. Talok looked at her. Yes, we are. And you should be afraid too. The power inside humanity is dangerous. It will destroy you from within if the galaxy does not destroy you first. We will take our chances, Minho said. The meeting ended. No agreement was reached. War was now certain. Back on Earth, the final preparations were made. Admiral Taiho positioned the fleet in defensive formations around the moon. The lunar surface would provide cover. Old mines on the moon were filled with explosives. Satellites were converted into weapons. Lieutenant Hannah developed new tactics. She studied human military history, guerrilla warfare, ambush tactics, suicide attacks, things the aliens had never seen, things that civilized species did not do. We have one advantage, she told the fleet commanders. They think they know how war works. They have been fighting the same way for 1,000,000 years. They have never faced an enemy like us. Engineer Jiho finished his prototype. It was a weapon that could disrupt alien shields. It was not perfect. It would only work at close range. But it was something. If we can get close enough, he said, we can hurt them. On the last night before battle, Dr. Yuna continued to decode the architect files. She found something hidden deep in the data. A sequence of symbols. Code. She did not know what it meant, but she felt that it was important. She kept working. President Doyan spoke to the world one more time. Tomorrow, we face the greatest enemy humanity has ever known. Many of us will die. Perhaps all of us will die. But we will not die as victims. We will die as warriors. And if there is any justice in this universe, our children's children will live free because of what we do tomorrow. The 72 hours ended. High Commander Vorin gave the order. 3,000 alien warships broke formation and advanced toward Earth. Admiral Taiho watched them come. His fleet was positioned and ready. 800 small ships against 3,000 giants. It was not a fair fight. It was not supposed to be. All ships, Taiho said calmly. Hold position. Wait for my command. Remember your training. Remember what we are fighting for. Remember that you are human. He looked at the approaching fleet. His hands were steady on the console. Today we show the galaxy what humanity is made of. Today we fight. All ships engage. The battle for Earth had begun. The first hour of battle was hell. Admiral Kress led the alien attack. His ships moved in perfect formation, like a wall of death sweeping through space. They fired weapons that humanity had no name for. Blue beams of energy that cut through steel like paper. Missiles that moved faster than human eyes could follow. Earth's ships exploded one after another. 200 vessels were destroyed in the first 60 minutes. Thousands of human soldiers died in fire and silence. The void of space filled with debris and bodies. But then, something strange happened. 47. Alien ships exploded. Admiral Kress stared at his screens in disbelief. That was impossible. Human weapons could not penetrate alien shields. Nothing in their database suggested humans had that capability. Report, he demanded. What happened? His officers checked their data. Unknown weapons, sir. It disrupted our shields at close range. The human ships got close enough to fire directly at our hulls. Kress felt his throat tighten. Close range. The humans were flying directly at his ships, getting so close that they could touch them, just to fire their weapons. It was suicide. It was madness. It was working. Lieutenant Hannah commanded the weapons. Stationed on a cruiser. It's called the Soul's Honor. She had spent the last week studying every piece of information about alien tactics. She knew how they thought. She knew what they expected. They fight in formations, she had told her captain. They keep distance. They use their superior firepower. They have never faced an enemy that gets inside their lines. Now she was putting her theory into practice. Her ship dove straight toward the alien formation. Enemy fire filled the space around her. She ignored it. She aimed for the gaps between the alien vessels. The spaces where their weapons could not fire without hitting each other. There now, she screamed. Engineer Jiho's shield-disrupting weapon activated. The beam hit an alien ship at close range. The shields flickered and died. The next shot punched through the hull. The alien vessel broke apart in a silent explosion. Hannah did not celebrate. She was already turning toward the next target. On Earth, the ground war had begun. Alien transport ships landed in cities across the world. Soldiers poured out. They were tall, armored in black metal, carrying weapons that could turn a human to ash in seconds. But they made a mistake. They expected humans to run. Sergeant Yunji was waiting in Seoul with her Special Forces team. They hid in buildings, in subway tunnels, in sewers. When the alien soldiers marched down the empty streets, thinking they had already won, Yunji gave the signal. Explosions tore through the alien ranks. Gunfire came from every window. Missiles launched from hidden positions. The aliens fell by the dozens. An alien commander screamed orders in his strange language. His soldiers tried to form defensive positions, but they did not know how to fight in cities. They did not know how to fight enemies they could not see. For 1,000,000 years their wars had been decided in space. They had never needed to learn ground combat. Yunji watched an alien soldier look around in confusion as bullets hit his armor from 3 different directions. He did not know where to fire back. He did not know where to hide. He fell to the ground, and 3 more took his place, and they fell too. They do not know how to fight us, Yunji whispered to her team. They have never fought anyone like us. Show them what 5,000 years of human warfare looks like. The aliens had more soldiers. They had better weapons. They had ships in orbit that could bomb the cities to dust. But every street became a battlefield. Every building became a fortress. Every human became a soldier. In space, Admiral Taiho watched the battle unfold. His fleet was being destroyed. 300 ships gone now. 400? The aliens just kept coming. But they were losing ships too. 100 alien vessels destroyed. Then 150. Numbers the Galactic Accord had never imagined losing to a primitive species. Sir, an officer said, the ESS Defiance is requesting permission for a special mission. Taiho looked at the request. Captain Minho wanted to take his ship through the alien lines. He wanted to reach High Commander Voron's flagship. If they could kill Voron, the alien fleet would fall into chaos. It was a suicide mission. No ship could survive that journey. Taiho closed his eyes. He thought about his family, his children, his grandchildren. He thought about what would happen to them if Earth fell. Permission granted, he said quietly. May God go with them. The S-Defiance broke from the human formation. It flew straight into the heart of the alien armada. Enemy fire came from all directions. The ship shook and burned. Hull breaches opened across the vessel. Crew members were pulled into the vacuum of space. Captain Minho stood on the bridge. His uniform was torn. Blood ran down his face from a wound on his forehead. Beside him, Lieutenant Hannah worked the weapons console with burned hands. Half the bridge crew was dead. How many more do we have to get through? Minho asked. Hannah checked her screens. 200 ships between us and Voron's flagship. Maybe more. He had started with 150 crew members. Now he had 30. Keep going, he said. The Defiance pushed forward. It dodged and weaved through enemy fire. It took hit after hit. Sections of the ship went dark. Life support failed in half the vessel. The survivors put on emergency suits, and kept fighting. An alien battleship moved to block their path. It was 5 times the size of the Defiance. Its weapons powered up for a killing shot. Minho looked at Hannah. Can you hit it? If we get close enough, then get us close. The Defiance accelerated toward the battleship. The alien vessel fired. The shot missed by meters. The Defiance fired back. The shield-disrupting weapon hit its mark. The alien shields fell. The Defiance's remaining missiles tore into the battleship's hull. The alien ship exploded. The Defiance flew through the fireball, its hull screaming in protest. We are through the inner ring, Hannah reported. Her voice was barely a whisper. Voron's flagship is directly ahead. Minho looked at what remained of his crew. 30 had become 20, then 15. Now only 8 people stood on the bridge with him. Open a channel, he said. All frequencies. Hannah nodded. Channel open. Captain Minho looked at the massive alien flagship. It was larger than a city. It was the most powerful warship in the galaxy. And he was going to kill it with a broken ship and 8 exhausted soldiers. High Commander Voron, he said. You asked us to surrender. Here is humanity's answer. Press the button that fired every weapon the Defiance had left. Missiles, energy beams, even the ship's last nuclear warhead. Everything flew toward Voron's flagship. The alien ship's shields flared. They flickered. They struggled against the assault. And then, in one section, they failed. The nuclear warhead got through. The explosion tore through the flagship's command section. Fire erupted across the massive vessel. Secondary explosions followed. The ship did not die, but it was badly wounded. On the bridge of the crippled flagship, High Commander Voron pulled himself up from the floor. His body was broken. His ship was burning. Around him, his officers screamed and died. He looked at his view screen. He saw the tiny human ship, the Defiance, floating dead in space. It had given everything to wound him. Its crew had sacrificed their lives for one chance, one moment, one strike. Vorin had lived for 400 years. He had seen countless species surrender and beg for mercy. He had never seen anything like this. What are these creatures? He whispered to himself. The battle was not over. But something had changed. The alien fleet had lost its leader. Admiral Kress was dead, killed when his ship was destroyed by a human cruiser. The chain of command was broken. The invincible armada was confused and afraid, and on Earth. In an underground bunker, Dr. Yuna finally decoded the architect files. Her hands trembled as she read the words on her screen. The code she had found was not just information. It was an activation sequence, a key to unlock the potential the architects had hidden inside humanity. We can change everything. Captain Minho woke up in a cell. His body ached in places he did not know could ache. His head felt like it was full of broken glass. When he opened his eyes, he saw gray walls and a force field where a door should be. He was on the alien flagship. He was a prisoner. A guard appeared outside his cell. The creature was tall and gray, with the same cold eyes he had seen in Vorin's transmission days ago. It seemed surprised that Minho was awake. "Your ship is destroyed," the guard said in broken English. "Your crew is dead. All except you and 2 others. You are prisoners of the Galactic Accord," Minho smiled. It hurt his face to smile, but he did it anyway. "Did we hurt you?" he asked. The guard said nothing. But Minho saw something in its eyes. Fear, confusion. The guard had never seen a prisoner smile before. It did not understand. Minho laughed. It was a painful laugh, but it was real. "You have been watching us for 200 years. You thought you knew us. You knew nothing." In space, the battle continued. Admiral Taiho had lost 500 ships now. Only 300 remained. But the aliens had lost over 400 vessels. That was more than they had lost in the last 1,000 years of war combined. The alien fleet pulled back. Without Vorin to command them, and with Kress dead, they did not know what to do. They had never been in this situation before. Their perfect war machine was broken. On Earth, Dr. Yuna worked as fast as she could. The activation sequence she had found needed to be broadcast on a specific frequency. It would reach every human on Earth and trigger something in their genes. Something the architects had put there millions of years ago. "Are you sure about this?" President Do-yoon asked. He was in the bunker with her, watching over her shoulder. "We do not know what this will do to people." Yuna looked at him with exhausted eyes. "We are losing, Mr. President. Our fleet is almost gone. The aliens will regroup and attack again. Next time, we will not survive. This is our only hope." Do-yeon was quiet for a long moment. Outside, he could hear explosions. Alien ships, bombing cities. People screaming. The world dying. "Do it," he said. Yuna pressed the button. The frequency went out across the planet. Every human heard it, though not with their ears. It was a sound below sound, a vibration that went straight to the center of their being. For 1 second, every person on Earth felt connected to every other person. Billions of minds touching each other. Just for a moment. Then the change began. Engineer Jiho was working on repairs to a damaged ship when it happened. His vision blurred. His hands shook. He grabbed the edge of a table to keep from falling, and then everything became clear. He looked at the alien technology around him. He had spent weeks trying to understand it. Now he saw it as clearly as if he had designed it himself. He knew how it worked. He knew how to improve it. He knew its weaknesses. "I understand," he whispered. "I understand everything." Sergeant Yoonji was fighting in the streets of Seoul when it happened. She felt like lightning had struck her brain. For a second, she could not move. Then she felt the aliens. Not saw them, felt them. She knew where every enemy soldier was in a 3-block radius. She knew they were going to fire before they pulled their triggers. She knew where to move, where to shoot, where to hide. She killed 12 alien soldiers in the next 30 seconds. She did not miss once. Lieutenant Hannah was floating in an escape pod, barely alive when it happened. She had been rescued from the wreckage of a destroyed cruiser. Her body was broken. She should have been unconscious. Instead, she opened her eyes and saw the battle in a way she had never seen before. Every ship was a point of light in her mind. Every missile was a line of motion she could predict. The chaos of war became a pattern she could read like words on a page. "Get me to a ship," she said to the medic beside her. "Any ship. Now." All across Earth and all across the fleet, humans were changing. Not into something inhuman. Into something more human than they had ever been. Their minds became sharper. Their senses became keener. Their bodies became stronger. The architects had designed them to evolve. Now, pushed to the edge of extinction, that evolution happened all at once. Admiral Taiho felt it too. The weight of command that had been crushing him lifted. He looked at the battle map and saw not just ships and numbers, but possibilities. Paths to victory that had been invisible before. "All ships," he said, "new orders. Attack pattern, Omega-7. His captains responded instantly. They understood his plan without explanation. The human fleet, what remained of it, moved as one organism. They struck at the confused alien armada like a knife into flesh. The counterattack was devastating. Alien ships fell by the dozens. Human pilots flew with impossible precision. Engineers repaired damage that should have taken days and minutes. Weapons officers hit targets they could not see. Guided by instincts they did not understand. High Commander Vorin watched from his damaged flagship. He could not believe what he was seeing. His fleet was being destroyed by a species that should have been extinct by now. Then he understood. "They awakened," he said quietly. "The architect's gift," it activated. His aide looked at him with terror in his eyes. "What does that mean?" Vorin did not answer. He knew what it meant. For 50,000 years, the Galactic Accord had feared this moment. They had watched humanity, studied humanity, prepared to destroy humanity before this could happen. They had failed. In his cell, Captain Minho felt the change too. He felt stronger, clearer. The pain in his body faded to nothing. He stood up and walked to the force field. 2 other human prisoners were in cells nearby. He did not know their names, but he felt their minds now. They were connected to him in a way he could not explain. "Can you feel it?" He asked them. They nodded. Double quotes, "Then let us get out of here." Minho looked at the force field. Before, it had been an impossible barrier. Now he saw it differently. He saw the generator behind the wall. He saw the power flow. He saw the weakness. He reached out his hand. He did not know what he was doing. His body knew. His evolved genes knew. The force field flickered and died. The guard ran toward them. Minho moved without thinking. His fist connected with the guard's helmet. The metal cracked. The guard fell. "Find the other prisoners," Minho said to his fellow humans. "There must be more. Other species the Accord has captured and enslaved. Free them. All of them." As they moved through the damaged ship, Minho found what he expected. Dozens of aliens from species he had never seen. They were not soldiers. They were slaves, workers, prisoners taken from worlds the Accord had conquered. We were never the only ones they hurt, Minho realized. The Accord used fear of humanity to justify their empire. They told the galaxy they needed to be strong to fight us. They used us as an excuse to enslave everyone else. He opened the cells. The alien prisoners looked at him with confusion and hope. "You are free," he told them. "Help us, and we will help you. Today we do not fight alone." Back on Earth, Dr. Yuna received reports from around the world. The change was everywhere. People were different, better, stronger. Scientists were solving problems that had seemed impossible. Soldiers were fighting with superhuman skill. Even children were showing signs of enhanced abilities. "We did it," she said to President Do-Yan. "We awakened." Doyen nodded, but his face was troubled. What do we do now? When this war is over, what do we become? Yuna thought about it. That is up to us. The architects gave us the potential. What we do with it is our choice. We can become the monsters the galaxy feared. Or we can become something better. Outside, the battle was turning. The alien armada was breaking apart. Some ships tried to retreat. Others surrendered. The war was not over yet, but for the first time since it began, humanity was winning. High Commander Vorin made a decision. He ordered his flagship to retreat. He had to warn the rest of the galaxy. He had to tell them that their worst nightmare had come. True, humanity had awakened, and nothing would ever be the same again. Admiral Taiho did not let them escape. The alien armada tried to run. Ships that had come to destroy Earth now fled from it like frightened animals. They raced toward the edge of the solar system, toward the hyperspace points that would take them back to their empire. Taiho's fleet followed. It was a strange hunt. 300 human ships chasing the survivors of 12,000. The hunters had become the hunted. Sir, an officer said, High Commander Vorin's flagship is trying to reach hyperspace. If he escapes, he will warn the rest of the galaxy.
Io nodded.
Then we do not let him escape. All ships, focus on the flagship. Cut off his retreat. The human fleet moved with perfect coordination. Every captain knew what to do without being told. Every pilot flew as if guided by a single mind. The awakening had made them more than individuals. They were connected now, part of something larger than themselves. Vorin's flagship was surrounded. The massive ship, larger than a city, could not outrun the small human vessels that darted around it like angry insects. One by one, its escort ships were destroyed or disabled. On board the flagship, Captain Minho led the prisoners through the burning corridors. They had freed dozens of alien slaves from other species. Some were humanoid. Others were strange creatures Minho could not have imagined before today. But they all wanted the same thing: freedom from the Galactic Accord. The bridge is this way, said one of the freed aliens, a small creature with 4 arms and blue skin. I was a slave there for 50 years. I know every passage. They reached the bridge. Alien guards tried to stop them, but Minho's awakened reflexes made the fight almost unfair. He moved through them like water through stones. Behind him, human and alien prisoners fought together against their common enemy. High Commander Vorin stood at the center of the bridge. His body was injured from the earlier attack. His face showed exhaustion and defeat. But when he saw Minho walk through the door, he straightened his back and faced him with dignity. Right. So it ends, Vorin said. The species we tried to destroy has destroyed us instead. Minho stopped a few meters away. I am not going to kill you. Vorin looked surprised. Why not? Because we are not like you. Minho looked around the bridge at the alien officers who had surrendered. You came to destroy us because you were afraid. You never tried to understand us. You never talked to us. You just decided we were dangerous and attacked. He stepped closer to Vorin. We are dangerous. You were right about that. But dangerous does not mean evil. We can choose what we do with our power. Vorin stared at him. For 400 years, he had seen species beg, surrender, and die. He had never seen one offer mercy. What do you want? Vorin asked. I want to understand. Why did the galaxy fear us so much? What did the architects put inside us that scared you all? Vorin was silent for a long time. Then he spoke. The architects created every intelligent species in this galaxy. They designed each one with limitations. Every species can only grow so much, learn so much, evolve so much. It keeps the galaxy stable. It prevents any one species from becoming too powerful. He paused. But they made you different. They made you without limits. Your potential is infinite. Given enough time, you could become as powerful as the architects themselves. Minho absorbed this. So you tried to kill us before we could grow. Yes. The Accord decided long ago that unlimited potential was too dangerous. Better to eliminate the threat than risk the destruction of everything we built. But you were wrong, Minho said. We are not a threat because we can destroy you. We are only a threat if we choose to destroy you, and we do not have to make that choice. The battle outside ended. The alien flagship was captured. The remaining enemy ships surrendered or were destroyed. The war was over. Days later, President Doyen addressed the galaxy. The transmission went out to every world, every station, every ship in known space. Billions of aliens watched and listened. The war you started is over, Doyen said. Your fleet is destroyed. Your leaders are our prisoners. You have lost. He paused to let his words sink in. But we did not fight to conquer you. We fought to survive. Now that we have survived, we must choose what comes next. We could take revenge. We could build our own empire and make you suffer as you made others suffer. Many of my people want this. After what you did to us, who could blame them? His voice grew stronger. But that is not who we want to be. We have awakened to our true potential. That potential is not just power. It is wisdom. It is compassion. It is the ability to choose a better path. He looked directly into the camera. So here's humanity's offer to the galaxy. We do not want to rule you. We do not want to destroy you. We want to build something new, a new accord. Not based on fear and control, but on cooperation and mutual respect. Any species that wants to join us is welcome. Any species that threatens us will learn why you were right to be afraid. He straightened his shoulders. Called us a disease? An invasive species? You said we had to be eliminated before we could spread. You were wrong. Humanity is not a disease. We are the cure. We are the beginning of a new age for this galaxy. And it starts today. 1 year later, Earth had changed beyond recognition. Ships from 100 species filled its skies. New buildings rose that combined human and alien architecture. Scientists from different worlds worked together in laboratories. Children played with friends who had 4 arms or blue skin or wings. Admiral Minho stood on the bridge of the ESS New Dawn, humanity's first exploration vessel built with architect technology. Lieutenant Hannah stood beside him, fully recovered from her injuries. Their crew was mixed now. Humans freed slaves from the old Accord, and even some aliens who had defected from Voron's forces. Course is set, Hannah reported. We are ready to depart, Minho nodded. They were heading to the far edge of the galaxy, 2 regions of space the old Accord had never dared to explore. Nobody knew what they would find there. That was the point. Before we go, Hannah said, I have to ask, do you ever regret it? What we did on Voron's flagship? We could have killed him. We could have destroyed them all. Minho thought about it. No, we had a choice. Kill and become what they feared, or show mercy and become something new. I think we chose right. On Earth, Dr. Yuna led a new research initiative. Teams from across the galaxy were working to understand the architect technology. More importantly, they were trying to help other species unlock their own potential, the way humanity had been unlocked. Every species has hidden capabilities, she explained to her colleagues. The architects limited them artificially. We can remove those limits. We can help everyone evolve. Dangerous work. Some species did not want to change. Others changed in unexpected ways. But progress was being made. High Commander Voron lived in a small apartment in Geneva now. He had been granted asylum, the first alien to live freely on Earth. He spent his days talking to human historians, explaining the secrets of the Galactic Accord, helping humanity understand the galaxy they had joined. He was haunted by what he had done. The species he had ordered destroyed, the worlds he had burned. But he tried to make amends in small ways. He advised the new government. He warned them about old enemies. He helped them avoid the mistakes his own people had made. One evening, Admiral Taiho visited him. Taiho was old now, ready to retire. He had saved humanity, but he did not feel like a hero. He felt tired. I wanted to ask you something, Taiho said. When you first saw us fight back, when your ship started dying, what did you think? Voron was quiet for a moment. I thought we had made a terrible mistake. Not in attacking you. In waiting so long, if we had come 100 years earlier, you would not have been ready. And now. Vorin looked out the window at the stars. Now I think the mistake was attacking at all. We could have been friends. We could have helped each other. Instead, we let fear control us. And fear always leads to destruction. Taiho nodded slowly. That is a lesson we should all remember. The First Galactic Congress met 6 months later. Representatives from 60 species gathered in a massive station orbiting Earth. Some had been slaves of the old Accord. Some had been enemies. Now they were trying to build something together. There were arguments. There was distrust. Old wounds did not heal quickly. But for the first time in galactic history, different species were talking as equals. Nobody was master. Nobody was slave. Everyone had a voice. Admiral Taiho stood on the observation deck of the station, watching ships arrive from across the galaxy. Lieutenant Hannah, now a captain herself, joined him. They used to fear us, she said. Taiho watched a transport from a distant world dock with the station. Aliens emerged who had never seen a human before. They looked nervous, but curious. Now they hope, he said. That is the difference between what they wanted us to be and what we chose to become. Hannah smiled. Do you think we can really change the galaxy? I think we already have. Taiho turned to face her. The old Accord ruled through fear. They kept species apart, kept them weak, kept them fighting each other. We offer something different. Unity. Growth. A future where everyone can reach their potential. It sounds like a lot of work, Taiho laughed. It was an old man's laugh, tired but genuine. It is, but that is what humans do. We do not just survive. We do not just fight. We build. And when we are gone, what we built remains. He looked back at the stars, at the ships, at the aliens and humans working together to create something new. This is our legacy, he said softly. Not war. Not destruction. Not empire. Just the simple idea that every species deserves a chance to become what they were meant to be. The architects started that work millions of years ago. We are going to finish it. The galaxy had declared war on humanity. They expected extinction. They expected surrender. They expected an easy victory against a primitive species. Instead, they found something they never imagined. They found hope.